Yes, here we are. Okay. The plan for the day, Wednesday, 15th of April. The 15th of April. We started this project back in, I want to say either November or December, and it is now mid-April. Are we making good progress? Yes? I don't know. I don't know. I don't not know if oh, I gotta clear my nose. Give me one second, chat. Give me 1 second. Okay. Hey. Still on track for that next fest, right, guys? Not a chance. Let's be real. That was never happening. October next fest? I don't think we can do October either. I really don't know if we could reach October. By the way, I got denied on Steam for having additional text in my capsule art. And I guess having anything, like having the text in the that might not be blurred enough. I blurred and kind of distorted some of the text on the badge. They denied it because there was text on the badge. So they denied it because of the text on the badge. Why is that even a rule? Because a lot of people were abusing it to add like a bunch of random bullshit on their capsule art, and they ruined it for everybody else. And it made Steam look very low quality. So I basically just distorted the text on the badge. Hey, they didn't deny it for the description though. It was just the badge. So I blurred it a little bit, which I think makes it, you know, less legible, which I think is their biggest concern. So I think it should be okay. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see in 2 days. Maybe we get denied again. The guy looks really out of place on the badge now. If anything, hey, maybe that's fine. Maybe that's fine. Maybe that's okay. Maybe that's okay. Am I gonna be doing a Steam playtest? I don't know. If we do next fest, ideally we would have a demo. Right? Ideally we'd have a demo, but like... You could do black redacted bars. I did think about that, but I feel like that might be too much. But that was an option. If they deny this, then yes, we could either A, remove the badge altogether, which I think it adds a fun flair to the art, or B, redact a bunch of it. Would they get on you if you use like wingdings? I would say no, right? Some games have additional text in capsule. Example, the name of the update or version 1.0. Are these allowed? Those are allowed, but those are temporary capsules technically. When you do any updates and stuff, as far as I know, you can set an override capsule, but it has to pertain to an update or a DLC or something that you do. And technically they're temporary, so they have a set due date for when they have a set deadline for when they or they have a timeline for when it gets reverted back to their normal capsule. Listen, I don't make the rules, man. Am I gonna add a sprint bar? What do you mean, like a stamina bar? We got the stamina bar. It's right there. It pops up when needed and then it goes away. Does John have a badge? Does jump affecting it? It eats a little bit of it. It eats a little bit of it. Now, that being said, I don't think it stops you from jumping once you're out of stamina, but yeah. Does John have a badge? It's actually currently it's Jeff. Oh, you mean employee 233? Oh, John does not have a badge yet, actually. We need to give him one. I think realistically, we need like more little interactable stuff. 233's badge is the badge from the art Gigabrain. That was kind of the plan. The badge is all bloodied up. I specifically did that for that piece. But I didn't change the number. I should have made the number 233. Oh well. You damn rats. Get out of the way. That's it. Goodbye. Maybe you could have the badge be slightly bigger and then have the player's name on it. I find it hard to tell who's in these games anyways. If I make the badge too big, it'll be... yeah, too big. That ideally, I would want that to be a thing that we do. Like maybe I can make the name... maybe I can make the name larger. Do you guys see a discrepancy right now? Because I see one. All right. Yeah, maybe we can make the name larger. So that you can like read someone's name by reading their badge. Yeah, we could definitely change that up. So then that way we can actually like make it readable and whatnot. Well, I had a gun, maybe a BB gun to shoot rats, and it's ineffective against monsters. Well, we'll have a gun at some point, but it won't be like integral to the game, I guess. Like, it'll be there, right? I think we will put one in, because why not? Bro, revive me, I have ray gun. Yeah, I think it should be easily legible by just zooming in at their badge and you can see their name. Is the lighting on the eyes fucked when they're stretched? Yeah, a little bit. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. Alright? There are things we don't talk about, and that is one of the things we don't talk about, okay? You understand? You understand? Okay, good. So, why is it that those doors are unlocked and opened, but for some reason this one was not replicated? Maybe we should do a little animation when you're like interacting with stuff with your like right hand or left hand. Maybe we start doing little things like that. No, I feel like we don't need to do that. But at some point I would like to do that. Like if you're grabbing onto something, his hand just goes out. I think that would look pretty good. World space vertex problem? I'm not sure. I'm not worried about it though right now. I ain't worried about it. Something about this looks extremely off. Just kind of looking down at my toilet after eating Taco Bell. Oh God. All right. All right, let's get to work. Let's get to work. Let's get to work. The smart thing to do would be working on the monsters. You ever see the episode of Rick and Morty when they're on the story train? No, I only saw like the first 3 episodes of Rick and Morty, and then I was like, yeah, I guess that was, yeah, I haven't seen it. Bookshelf monster time? Maybe. I was maybe thinking werewolf, but maybe we just make it like a capsule for now. A very hairy capsule. Libby the librarian, silence in the library is required. You know, that would actually be kind of funny because there's that whole safe minigame thing where you have to like communicate to each other what the symbols are. And what if there was like a monster that wanted you to keep quiet during certain periods of time? That could be kind of funny. That could be kind of funny. that could be kind of funny. Interesting, you should check it out as it deals with metaphysical literal philosophy. Rick and Morty being that deep? What the hell? There was one thing I wanted to work on, which I don't even know if it's in the list. Is it in the list? Shop system. Oh, wow. I want to show how much you're gonna make for, when you sell shit. How much you're gonna make when you sell stuff. I was thinking maybe that could be a good idea because we have that here. So we should probably copy the same thing and bring it over to the sell shop. Okay, we got it. All right. Perfectly placed. In fact, perfectly placed. It's almost the exact same placement as this one. It's almost like they're kind of almost the same actor. Okay, so let's save that. I decided to start learning Rust last night, and so we're compared to C/C++. What's the deal with Rust? Because I feel like I keep hearing about Rust, like a meme almost. What's the deal with it? Is it just programming elitists saying shit? Negative or positive? Game dev elitists. We'll call them the dev elitists. Oh, this is better than this. The writing is good, but the characters are take it or leave it. I saw kind of unrelated, but kind of related in the realm of that. I saw that there was like a series called like Smiling Friends that like ended, and one of their artists or animators is looking for work, and I was like wondering to myself, hey, that art style could be pretty fun for like some Steam capsule art. could be kind of fun. What's in the safe? Ideally rare-ish items. I honestly don't know. It's people doubling down on hyper-efficient brittle code. It's really good until the eventual issue sneaks in, panics the whole thing. Mm-hmm. 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 I see. You know what I learned, which I think someone said it perfectly. There's a ton of coders and people in the space, and even like game dev YouTubers, they love to talk about the subject, but when it comes to actually working on the subject or making code and stuff like that, they sleep. Talking about the subject, I'm awake. Time to actually code, I sleep. It's so true, though. It really is true. Guys, the newest tech just released. I'm not using it, but it's the newest tech. What? Watch this 20-minute video. 5 tips on how you could use this. I asked AI, but we're not going to tell them that. AI told me what these 5 best tips would be. And then I made it like really long. Those who can't do, teach. I feel like this is a different case where it's like I wouldn't say this is necessarily teaching. It's just talking about a subject rather than actually working on the subject. Now, okay, that quote is a bit flawed because there's also a moment where you can have someone who can be really good at a certain thing, but they can be really fucking shit at teaching. Because teaching is a sub-skill of its own, right? So you can have someone who's really fucking good at something, but is absolute ass at teaching, versus someone who is not necessarily a professional, who's really good at teaching. Reality is, who's going to be the better teacher? So, it's a bit of a flawed quote in some respects. Got a Bane? How's it going? Okay. So, we need to make it so we update the text. I guess we'll just copy this. Fuck it. We ballin'. Shop preview. We do not need the shop preview here because these are items that you sell. Okie dokie. My job is teaching and I can do both. Like, you could, you know, obviously you could do both, but like, yeah. I'm just saying that there are people that could be really good at something, but really shit at teaching. So it's like, I feel like it's important to bring that up. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? All right, it's time to see if the total price can be calculated. I'm good at teaching the art of love. Yeah, all right. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. Sure. $2. Wait. I think it's still being doubled. Oh yeah, it's being doubled. I just need to whoopsies. Needs to be the normal price. The normal price. It also makes teaching sound like a bad thing. There's some bad teachers, but learning from experience is a bad thing. Is a good thing. Sorry, I don't know what's going on. I think I have reading incomprehension. Well, you have groups of people on Twitter. Who am I fucking kidding? I'm talking about Twitter. You have groups of people who absolutely hate people for charging for teaching. But I would say, dude, if you can get a really good teacher, I think paying to have someone who can mentor you is not a bad thing. Would I become a mentor? I'm sorry. I don't want to fucking deal with that shit. That rubber ducky costs $6? I don't want to deal with the educational space anymore. I'm going to be honest. If I start dealing with the educational space, I'm running out of money, guys. I'm just telling you right. If I start doing any educational stuff, it's because I'm running out of money. However, at the moment, we're not there yet. So that handle isn't connected to anything? What are you talking about? Yes, it is. It's literally connected to the wall. Kind of. Well, yeah. Would Van Gogh have been a good teacher? Probably not. I don't know. Listen, there can still be people that are really good at something and just have the innate skills to be a teacher, but there are people out there that can be really good at something and be a shit teacher. It's just like how you can have someone who can be really good at something, but is actually a terrible leader, right? They can be really good at a job, but that doesn't mean that they can suddenly be a leader for that position, right? Because being a leader has its own subset of skills as well. Oh, right, it has to reset. I actually don't even know if the buy box resets when you sell stuff. Do 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 do. It does. It does. I also think we need to put that in the end overlap. Yes. Wait, why is it doing a box overlap actors? Whatever. So we have sell items in zone, we have an authority call, and then we have a remote call. We're just gonna put this right here, put this right here, put it right here. Okay, very good, very good. Yes. The only way I know how to lead people is to get behind them. Like micromanaging them? Or you're like pushing them around. You're like, come on, let's go. I'm moving you around. I'm leading you. Is that what you mean? One flashlight, piece of coal. Thank you. $3? The fuck? Wait, why was it $3? Oh, guys, I'm stupid. Ha ha ha. Whoops. Let's just put this at the end here. I wonder if a switch has authority, if it calls authority and remote asynchronously at the same time, or if it does the authority call first and then the remote, almost like it's a... No, I guess, no, that doesn't make any sense. No, it would call, authority would get called, but then other clients would receive... Yeah, it's either one or the other. And they happen probably at around the same time. Well, they wouldn't happen at the same time because, you know, internet and lag and whatnot. But, yeah, I was thinking of that incorrectly. It was neither of those things that I thought of in my head. Whoops. Whoops. Messed that one up. Any items in here that I can just grab without having to... Yep, nope. The air horn is $1? That's bullshit. It is. What? There we go. Now it resets to 0. Okay, we got a little, the shop selling now shows a number. This is like, it's super developer number right now though, okay? Don't worry, we'll make this all juiced up. It's gonna go like... and then like when you sell the items, it's gonna make a sound effect, and then blah blah blah, and then like a whole animation thing. Like right now, okay, listen guys, listen. It's just the prototype thing for now, right? You know what I mean? I wonder what I could buy with $3. I don't think we could buy any of this. I don't think any of this costs $3. The glow stick? How much does the glow stick cost? $2? Oh my god, we're in. Fractal, thank you for the raid. How's it going? Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. 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 Can the player pet a dog yet? No, no. However, if they can, it will be a killer dog that will probably try to, I don't know, bite the leg off or something. Possibly something of the sort. This is looking cool. It's getting there. It's getting there. Slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. We need to work on the monsters today. I think I might work on the werewolf. Maybe we could work on the werewolf. Just get some of the functionality out of the way. And then we can do that. Is that fade to black and back for scene changer? Yeah, yeah. So when you dock into a station, there's a fade to black, and when you depart from a station to continue the route, it fades to black. We'll probably have like a different thing, but for now, for our current version, we'll kind of have it like that. What? Huh? Oh, we still have items going in the floor. Nice. Good. Yeah, nice. Very good. Oh, yeah. Love that. Very good. Yeah, we need to get the... Well, A, we need to make it so monsters randomly spawn throughout the train. We also need them to wander longer distances. They kind of stay in their zone, which is not very good. Yes. You know, I just had an idea. What if the glow stick, like, reveals... Maybe not the glow stick, but maybe some sort of, like... What do you call those things that, like, show... stains and stuff? Like a UV light. Oh, dude, can you imagine, like, you get a UV light item and then, like, certain trains start having, like, secrets and stuff etched into the walls and stuff? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Like, walk up to a container and it shows, like, a secret code or something. Oh, shit. Put that on the board. Put that on the board. The UV light. I don't think we do that here, but, you know. Scope creep? That's my whole life. It's my whole life. This whole project is scope creep. Put that on the scope creep board, which we, like, don't ever look at again. We gotta remove that thing from here and maybe put them in some of the other trains. Okay. Alright, well, the shop, or the selling shop, has a price tag on it now, which is good. A little bit of user experience stuff, quality of life. Now what? We should work on some more monsters, and the werewolf would be a good idea. Because the werewolf in nature is relatively straightforward. We could just duplicate the employee. The only difference is when he aggroes onto a player, he'll do like a big scream that reduces the view range of all players nearby. I say easy, but that's going to need some sort of debuff system. Now, I'm sure if I used Gaz, that would be very easy. However, I'm not using Gaz. How does Gaz work? Is it all object-based? I want to say it's all object-based. It spawns an object for a player. If it has a cooldown associated for a specific time, it's probably some sort of timestamp. If I were to guess. What would be a way to do like debuffs in a smart way? What would be the way to do a debuffs myself in a smart way? Well, the non-smart way would just be to just do the thing inside of the player character and not care, which, you know, would be pretty easy. Would be pretty straightforward. Well, it's only one thing to do. We at least got to get it started. Do it the sloppy way. What would be the sloppy way to do a debuff system? Do all of the code straight in the player character and not even care? Just hard code all of it, no objects, nothing. Maybe gameplay tags. Going on a walk, I look forward to seeing the finished product next stream. He doesn't know. We're here for another year. I just got here, that sounds horrible. Worka, how are you doing debuffs? Are you using Gaz? Yeah, you are using Gaz? Oh no. Attributes and effects. So how does Gaz work under the hood? I'm pretty sure it's just an object that gets attached to like the player. I used a bit of Gaz. It's just, God, the fact that the cooldown itself requires its own separate object, or you could do like a more hacky system. That's crazy. VOD viewers skip 3 months to skip the Gaz learn. Dude, I'm not getting back into Gaz. I already dealt with it enough with the prior prototype game that we were working on. I will learn it someday. Today's not that day. I'll make my own debuff system. And maybe fail at it. You can't replicate objects. But in this case, we can just make the objects client side. Objects can't tick. Can you put a timer in an object? No, I don't think you can, right? You can replicate and tick a U object if you start from C++. Right, so I'd have to make my own custom object, right? I mean, by a timer, you could set a time to destroy. You could give it a lifespan. I was thinking about actor component as well. Because I don't see the player having like 5 million debuffs on them. At most, maybe they'll have 2 or 3. Like, they'll have maybe the werewolf debuff on them. And then maybe they'll be on fire. And then maybe, I don't know, they're missing a leg or something. I don't know. So we could probably just do actor components. And do a very basic, simple system for it. The actor component could also be kind of data-driven and reusable. As long as I don't do any like specific things to the player character, we can make it so on fire could also be added to a rat. Make debuff an actor that way can handle its own visuals too, like fire. So, scene component, possibly. Because the scene component is just an actor component. Gas is nice for this because it's all tags, which you could still use tag containers for this. We could still use tag containers. I'm not really sure. Yeah. If I just use gas for the debuffs, does that make sense? Not really. Unless we convert everything to attributes. That's going to be a headache, though. And then there's a lot of boilerplate code that we got to do for that. From what I remember of dealing with it last time. Right, we also need to replicate to other people when something is happening to them. Like if they're poisoned or if they're on fire or something, that needs to be replicated. So we can't actually do that fully locally. It has to be done. Replicated. If we use a tag container on the player character that determined their debuffs, how would we attach... But then at that point, we could just do a replicated scene component. And then that would replicate. And then whenever it's deleted on server side. When we're trying to attach, I'm thinking about like, yeah, because we'll have probably visuals and maybe even sound effects on player characters. Maybe the werewolf is kind of annoying, actually. What was the design of the werewolf again? Literally the biggest problem is the fact that he does like a thing, he does a scream that in the nearby area reduces players' visions for 30 seconds. In the rep notify the tag container, and then in the rep on rep function apply the visuals. We could. How do we go about doing that without creating a huge fucking select slash switch though? Like how do we pertain a tag to a specific set of like an object or whatever would have to be created? You know me. How do we correlate a tag to a data table? Thinking. I'm thinking. I be thinking. We might just be over engineering this. I might just be over engineering this. It's time to open Notepad 2. What debuffs will there be? Close-sighted, sight reduced, on fire, poisoned, explosive in stomach, the bomb worm, explosive in stomach, on fire, poisoned, sight reduced, arms missing, eyes missing. Literally can't see anymore. Explosive in stomach. We have an idea for a monster that if you don't pay attention, he'll crawl into your mouth and then in your stomach. And then if you get close to any other players, it will blow up. It'll start going beep, 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 beep. If you get too close to players. And then once you step away, it'll be like beep, beep. It'd be ridiculously stupid. I think it'd be hilarious. It'll be a hilarious communication that's like the Saw trap, but for the neck. I've never watched Saw, so this is me coming up with stupid shit off the top of my head. So I take all the credit. Yeah, I think that should be hilarious because it'll create a really funny moment for players. So far we've got 6 debuffs. And this is me like kind of thinking about a ton of things that I really don't need. Do we really need an extensive system for this? You should make it so the person with the worm can't hear the noise. I feel like they have to hear it. They would just hear it more like internally. But yeah, it would be funny if other people can't hear it. There was a device that 2 people wear, and if they get close to each other, the device explodes on their neck. Damn. I don't know. Some of those horror movies, especially like Saw, makes me uncomfortable. I don't know. I don't know if other people feel the same. I don't know why. It just makes me feel slightly uncomfortable. Sight reduced, on fire, poisoned, explosive in stomach, arms missing, eyes missing. And here I am working on a game that's probably, if not more, fucked up. A worm crawls into your stomach. A worm crawls in your mouth and then... what are some other debuffs? I guess like you could get stunned. Stunned could maybe be a debuff. Like, you fell over and you can't get up manually. Silenced? Oh, silenced? Yeah, that could be a good one. Like literally can't talk. Or it's like extremely muffled. I can't do anything horror because of mental stuff. I can watch it but not play it for whatever reason. I can't do either, and here I am working on a horror game. I think the thing is, this isn't really a horror game. I view this more as a comedy game. just with horror attached to it. You know what I mean? It's more like a thriller, if anything. Because the intent is not necessarily to like make people necessarily like scared. It's more like something happens and then there's a huge moment of relief afterwards. And usually, hopefully, laughing would be something. So now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can't count. So now we got 8 debuffs. I still don't think this needs like a super extensive system. I think we could probably just make do with scene components. Stunned, I could see having a little effect over top your head. Little birds or stars spinning around your head. Silenced, I don't know. Could just be something else. Well, silence could be multiple different types of silenced. Maybe you got like a monster over top your head, kind of like Lethal Company style. A monster on the player's shoulders holding hands in front of their mouth. And they don't know that they're there. Hey guys. Whoa, what the fuck? Creepy ass fucking... It's like a gargoyle staring at other motherfuckers. And you'll never know. Until you randomly go and crouch underneath something, and then the gargoyle hits its head, and the only thing you hear is doosh, doosh, and then the body falling sound. And you look behind you, and the gargoyle's dead because you like gave it a concussion. Yeah, video games. Video game. I can't really, like, honestly, I don't know if we need like a huge debuff system, considering that these are there's only like 8 in the list. If not like 10 max. Sight reduced, on fire, poisoned, explosive in stomach, arms missing, eyes missing, stunned, silenced. Now, some of these I could see it'd be good to keep track of, like a gameplay tag. Oh, deafness is deafened. Yes. Good point. I wonder if I could literally just use gas for this. Where am I? I wonder if I could just use gas just for the debuffs. Or if I have to like really integrate everything into gas. I don't think I do. Maybe the attributes I'd have to, but... Ugh. You know, I thought the werewolf would be an easy task. It's not. For an achievement, could do the trifecta. Blinded, silenced, deafened. You would have to be in a very rare moment where you could get all of those. Hey, buddy, get that stick over there and poke my eyes out. And then, I don't know. Give me those earmuffs. And the duct tape. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think of like what would be an easy, simple way of doing this without over-engineering it. Gas would be a good idea, but then I got to deal with gas. And let me tell you, my toilet is not ready for that. So I would honestly prefer not having to deal with that if I can. Close these. But then I'm trying to think of, okay, what's the easy way of doing this? We'd probably want to replicate it. We could replicate a tag container, but then how do I associate an object to that tag container or create an actor associated with that tag container? It does really all come down to, yeah, probably gas. Could just use gas, right? Which header files could I check out? Hold on, I'm trying to scroll up, but for some reason my Twitch hates me and I can't fucking scroll up. Can check out which header files? Gameplay tag asset interface and gameplay tags component H. Gameplay tag asset interface. Gameplay tag asset interface. It's a U interface. Get owned gameplay tags on the asset. If the asset has a gameplay tag and matches against the specified tag. Yeah. Okay. I think you have to use this interface when you're using GAS, if I remember correctly. So yeah, we could use that. Well, you can't even implement this interface in Blueprint. Why is there such a specific metadata for this? Otherwise, we could check out gameplay tasks component. Gameplay tasks. Gameplay tasks. Gameplay tasks are a little different. I remember that being a node. Like, there's a whole node for gameplay tasks, and I don't... Spawn actor for gameplay task. I never used gameplay tasks. I've always seen it, but I really wondered what their use case was. Have I used it before, actually? I might have used it in the other game project. When we were messing around with that. If you don't learn it now, you'll possibly in the next. Well, I did learn a little bit of it, or quite a bit of it. Well, not quite a bit of it. I did learn, I think, the basics of being able to implement stuff in the other project. I never got around to... I remember I did, doing debuffs. Specifically gas, not gameplay tasks specifically. I am curious how we could utilize this at all. Is there any documentation on gameplay tasks? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. My only knowledge of gameplay tasks is I think I used the wrong node for some AI code one time. And randomly, this was in Suit for Hire, and then randomly the game would crash because of that node. To this day, still no idea what was going on. What's documentation? You know, it's like this thing with words and stuff. Let's see if there's anything about gameplay tasks. Gameplay ability tasks. Okay, but that's for gas. That's for gas. What about gameplay tasks? I'm looking for the gameplay tasks. We might just have to go in on gas. Okay, waste of time. Yeah, there's no documentation on just the gameplay tasks. Weirdly enough. It's just, there's nothing. There's nothing about it. And it's been apparently out since 4.13. Okay, nice, good. Love that, love that. Great, love that, love that. Yeah, love that. Ah! What's a better docs than the code? Yeah, but I'm just not that, like, while I can read the code, it's obviously a lot faster if I can read English. If I can read some written English by someone who understands it more than me, rather than me trying to figure out the code and what it's doing and whatever. Okay, so for the debuff system, we need some sort of gameplay tag because imagine for stunned, we don't want to allow we don't want to allow them to stand up, so that intertwines with other mechanics.
Shit my pants, I did.
First 9 stare.
Rookie, thank you for the prime. Thank you. Appreciate that. Honestly, man. Okay, so we would need to create a component on the Yeah, we can toggle the ragdoll, but we also need to make it so you can't stand up, because ragdolling and standing up, or you know, doing the two different poses, are a little bit, yeah, prevent input for stun period, right? It'd be good to have a gameplay tag to read from that. I'm thinking we just get the werewolf in, because it's just one debuff at the moment. And then in the future, we're going to have to refactor it. Just so we can just get started on the werewolf. The werewolf. Let's just get it in, and we'll figure out the rest. Okay, let's just get it in. We'll get the other things figured out, no problem. What the hell was that? He was dancing a little bit. Turn off this called the mesh. Does he not have any custom code? How does he deal damage to the player? With the sphere. Okay. Oh, that's in... Oh, right. We put that in the base pawn. I remember. Right. We have the contact damage system. I guess let's make it so the werewolf deals more damage. And then the mesh. He needs a mesh. He needs a mesh. Let's just give him... He needs to... Let's just give him a random material. Where's the brown? We have a brown material. There we go. This is the werewolf for now. This is the werewolf. This here is the werewolf. Pretty terrifying, I know. We can give him 2 little red eyes. That'd be great. 2 little red eyes. That'd be fantastic. So, I don't know if I have a system in here that calls when we aggro. Oh, we don't do any sort of calls for that. Well, we do have... we do have... we do have the sent state tree event. And then we probably want to give him a cooldown where he can't like constantly keep howling or whatever. Or doing his scream. Because that would probably get pretty annoying. I guess what we could do is take the sent state tree event. Call the parent. And then what we can do here. Does this get called on the client? No, it gets called on the server because here we have the replicate called directly. So I guess when he does the scream, what do we do? Spawn an actor? Spawn an actor on the werewolf that then sets the debuff and calls the sound effect on any nearby players? With a big sphere circle type dealio. I see we're adding the furry representation monster. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, a little, something like that. Kinda, not really. No. Do we have any other furry monsters? The goblin might have hair. Jimmy might be a little hairy. I don't know. The splitter. I don't know what the splitter is going to look like. Give him a dumpy. All right. Yeah, all right. All right. You're the boss. Yeah, you're the boss. Yeah, I think we just call an actor. We spawn an actor. BP underscore werewolf howl. Almost like it's a... I think this is how you would actually do it in the actual scenario. Yeah. Yes. And then we need a sphere collision. Set that as the root. The sphere collision will be the radius of how far players get affected. We'll do 2,000. Generate overlap events. We just want to overlap pawn, I believe. And then we can also add a sound effect, an audio of the howling, the Halloween song, the howling. Let me see if I have a sound effect for this. Do I got any? I got alien life, but I need a like a werewolf. Where would be a place for werewolf? Let's check Boom 1. We got animals. Wild. Martins scream at night in the distance. Oh, that's creepy. Cat wild, dog. Dog? Dog. Dog. No, it's just a regular dog. That's just a regular dog. Let's see if there's like any like monster sounds. Maybe they got some designed monster sounds in here. Are we meant to hear it? No, not yet. Chat, not yet. Not yet, no. Let me see if I can see, like, I don't think oh, I spelled that wrong. Let me spell it correctly. I don't think there'd be a werewolf pack in here, but maybe there is. We could search up just wolf. Or let me search up howl. Forest woodland owl howl. Scary, howling, reverberant, distant. I think we're just gonna get like... What's the game about? It's a co-op survival horror. Well, not really survival. Co-op horror game. Kind of goofy-ish. I don't know about that. That doesn't sound... It sounds like someone howling into a microphone. It takes place on a train, and all of the players are basically employees that have to keep the train running on a monster train. There's a ghost. How many gigabytes is Unreal Engine? I don't know. A couple? A couple at least. Let's see. Let me search up Scream. Uh-oh. Zombie male throaty scream. Okay. We're getting into that territory. All right. Ouchie. Why not search up wolf howl? I could get a wolf. We could get a wolf. Screaming bomb. Ooh, Aztec death whistle. Want I do the howl? I'm not doing the howl, chat. No, I'm not doing the howl. I don't want the sound effect to be like, you know, killing the player's ears either. You know what I mean? Jump scare, shocking. Listen, I'm not trying to get scared right now, okay? Would be too scary if you did it. That's true. That's true. Would be. Demon bat upset scream. This sounds so. Ooh, Wraith. These sound cool. But not very wolf like. Kraken. Whoa. What the werewolf do? Screams and then kind of semi-blinds everybody in a nearby vicinity, and then probably runs at players and starts swiping at them. Right now, though, our werewolf looks like this at the moment. We don't really have a werewolf yet. Puts a bomb. No, it does not forcefully make you boof a bomb. Don't you worry. The werewolf does not make you boof a bomb. Not to worry. That's a completely different monster. And that wouldn't be boofing. That would be something different. That would not be... It's not the same. It's not the same. See, like, I got wolf pack howling sounds, but... Does your game take place in the Marina Trench? No. No, I think. No, I don't know. I don't know. Good question. Let me see if we find wolves somewhere else. I'm sure I got like a monster pack somewhere in here. I know I got alien life, but let's see. Maybe there is. Let's see. We got seals. Chihuahua. Does my game include tar? Tar? Like, no, I don't think so. I wonder if there is a wolf in here. I don't think they'd have a wolf. They got a lion, which is surprising. It sounds really good, actually. Some really good sounds in here. I know you guys just can't hear it. Tasmanian devil. Ooh, even the crow sounds good. What if you could turn the werewolf into a chihuahua temporarily to stun it? This pizza tastes so good. Too bad you guys can't taste it. Listen, are you guys ready for this? Listen, there's gonna be some sound effects that end up really being loud. I don't think you're ready for this. Hold on, let me see if I can find a sound. Vulture. Daxophone. There's some really cool sounds in here. Here, listen to this. Some pretty cool sounds. Chair scrape aggressive. Where'd you get those from? Alien Life. This is from Boom Library. Not sponsored, but should be, honestly. Ugh. Check out Howl Untitles and hashtag game dev. I didn't hear anything. I couldn't do. Ow! Ugh. There's some good sounds in here. You could probably make quite a few things with this construction pack, actually. Could make some good stuff. I don't know, dude. Okay, let me turn this off because these are gonna be loud, I think. Behemoth Scream. The problem is they sound very alien. Try an ow. Ow. Sounds more like a bird. Cosmic Leech. Void creeper? Hold on. We could use one of these. I feel like these should be like for other monsters though. Let's see if I could just search up Howl in my entire pack. Actually, wait, no, I can do that in a different software, which would be a lot better. Can you give me some tips on game dev? Just get in there and just suffer. Suffering is just part of the job. Get a peek. Give me some tips on breathing. Well, I'm probably not the person for that. I'm not the man for the job. You can peek. Let's see. Howl. Oh, these are like these are like wind howls. Oh, this could work. It's not like super scary, but honestly, it's more than good enough to be honest. Wait, hold on. This could work. Guys, I found one. Let me see if there's anything else in here. Yes. What you working on today? Another monster. Another monster. We're making the werewolf. The werewolf. Engine howl. Yes. Yes. Now we're driving. That shit was so loud. You guys don't even understand how loud it was. Okay. Very cool. Okay, well, let's use the one that we were just looking at. Which one was that? Which one was it? No, not that one. Oh, shit. Oh, no, it was one of these. It was over here. This one. All right, we'll do this for now. For now. Of course, it would be good to have this turn into like a screaming type sound, type dealio type thing. Let's not normalize that because that is very loud. Okay, let me export this. Werewolf underscore howl. Yeah. I get memory warning limit from Unreal. Why is it eating 9,000 megabytes with like 2 blueprints and empty level? I don't know, but I asked the same question with Google Chrome eating 800 megabytes per tab. What is the sample manager? It's called Explorer by Sound Particles, I think was the company name. God, my hand is like... I gotta like stretch out my fingers a little bit. They're like hurting. My fingers hurt. Okay, hold on. Let's go to the audio section, sounds, werewolf howl. Then let's create a cue from this. And then move it in the right folder. Save that. Modulator. And then audio class master, I guess. Attenuation settings. Shit. I guess monster footstep sounds. This should have an attenuation radius of 3000. Okay. Hold on. Let's override it. 1000. And then 3000 for this. Maybe even less. Because the actual radius is going to be a lot, I think, a lot less than that. I forget. Actually, hold on. Is the sphere radius... That's not just the half radius, right? That's the whole end to end. Let's see. I can't use middle mouse button here. Why can't I use middle mouse button here? Is that half radius? So this is actually 4,000 units. Use the 1 meter line at the left. I'm trying to. It's not very useful, though. I'm going to be honest. It's not, you know, it's not really doing much. For some reason, it goes from 10 meters to 1 meter all of a sudden. That I don't know if that makes sense to me. God, I hate why can't you just have the middle mouse ruler in here, similar to how you would have the middle mouse ruler in the, whatever. Why do I bother? Okay, so we'll play the howl. Oh, look, there's the distance. I didn't even need any of that at all. So this is the inner radius, and then that's the outer radius. We could probably do this, and then reduce this, and then that's probably fine. I actually I don't remember. Does the inner radius make it so there's no spatialization? Coughing up a storm. Ah, yes, the loud coughs. And then the clearing of the throat. Yes. Oh, how I know such a thing. Oh, how I know. So I guess we'll make this replicated. And then what we need to do is do a begin overlap. Wait. Wait, no, hold on. When you spawn an actor, it doesn't do the initial overlaps. Okay, the sphere is going to be a debug size. On begin play, we are going to do a sphere overlap and do it this way instead. Yep. Yes. Yep, that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. And then in here, this is where we'll apply the debuff. Okay. Let's start with this. So it's replicated. Okay, good. Then we need to, on true, spawn an actor from class. Okay, and then this is going to spawn the howl. Now, we would like to put this on a cooldown. So, yeah. Am I still doing push-ups? Well, since you asked the question, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Bringing it up is an evil thing to do. I'm sure you understand what you've just opened. The gates of hell. Let's add a variable called last howl timestamp. I don't mind. Okay, last howl timestamp. If the last howl timestamp, then we need to get server time, server game time. Where's the server game time? Server time? Server time? Hello? Server time. I need server time. Server time. Server time. Server world time seconds. Ah. That's probably why, it's because it was in the game state. I see. I see. If the last howl timestamp, if we take this and minus it from the last howl timestamp, we want to check that this is more than, let's do 70 seconds. If that's true, spawn in the howl. Now we probably want him to play an animation as well. Oh, great. Great, an animation and everything, the whole shtick. Yeah. Yeah. All right, well, let's just start with that for now. I think this should work. We should at least hear the howl. Hopefully not too loud. That would not be good. Would be too loud. All right, here's our werewolf. Let me make it so the arrow is visible so we can see where he's facing. Because currently, well, he doesn't have any eyes. Huh? I don't see the howl event in there anywhere. Yeah, that's server world time seconds minus this. Oh, we have to wait 70 seconds. Let's change that to 30 seconds real quick, just so you can yeah. Maybe I should change that to 5 seconds. Or alternatively, we set the timestamp to -30. That way that would work. In fact, that would work. There is rats in the train. And a bomb. Oh, there we go. I feel like it wasn't loud enough. I feel like that needs to, like... Oh, shit, he's cutting me off. I feel like it's got to be pretty loud. Well, I feel like the initial thing has to be loud. But I feel like there needs to be some sort of, like, screaming sound associated with it. Which is not the most ideal thing in the world. I do think the inner radius, though, needs to be larger. It needs to be almost as big as, like, the actual effect range. The effect range. It looks very close. And then we'll increase the volume a little bit. Okay. I'm also going to start this default variable to -70. Or let's do 60. That's fine. Look at this time to see how Skyrim did howls. It sounds more like a lion. They used a lion in here. Yeah, they mixed it with a lion. I can tell they mixed it with a lion. I ain't no sound designer, but that sounds like a lion. Which I guess makes sense. Ideally, though, he wouldn't immediately start running at us. There'd be a bit of a, yeah, tiger or lion. He would play like a little effect before he starts running. But we have the range. Do we have the sphere trace call when it began? Howl debuff. Yes, we got it. It called it twice for some reason, but that's okay. Can he kill you yet? He has the exact same code as the employee, so... Pretty sure he can, yes. And he deals quite a bit of damage. But it's just contact damage. I think for him, I'd want him to do, like swiping animations. And then maybe even, like, a lunging animation. Like, he lunges at the players. Is there no way to see your health yet? I'm covering it. Do you see that little bar right there? That's my health missing. Here it is with my health. Now you can see, I'm full health now. It's because my camera's blocking it. It's because I'm covering it up. Green is an interesting choice. I feel like green is not too far-fetched for health. Yeah, you're blocking the health bar. You should put your camera in the middle of the entire screen. Might be a good idea, not gonna lie. You might be onto something. I love how you can see through the door here to look at. I like that. We might keep that in the actual final version of this level. Okay, how can I give him a lunge attack without an animation? I think he's just gonna need an animation for that. Jump forward. I thought about that, like he leaps forward. We could do that. We could make it so he leaps forward. We could make it so by him jumping forward, he can jump towards us if we're in an inaccessible place. Is anything blocking the player from holding the door against the creature? Nothing is blocking them from doing that yet. You can do that, technically. I think in the future we're going to make it so holding a door eats up stamina, especially if a monster is trying to get through it. And then I'll probably make certain monsters break down doors. We'll probably get to that point. So I think if he hits you 3 times, you just die. Or 4 times. Is it 3 times? Yeah, 3 times. I like the idea of him jumping at you, though. Let's see. Can you make him jump off the train though if you do that? I literally thought of that. That will become a problem, or if not a feature. It could be a problem or a feature. Yeah, definitely. The jump, I would ideally make it so he can jump up. Right now, none of the monsters can like climb ladders or anything like that. I would like to make it maybe so the employee can climb a ladder, but the werewolf jumping at you could be kind of fun. Maybe we just set a timer. When he aggroes, we set a timer that allows him to check if he can do a jump or a leap. Every 1 second looping. Then we can do a check if he's de-aggroed to stop the timer. Let's just do function. Check for leap. I guess we can... Okay, so... How do we read what their current target is? In here we have a payload, and the payload is the target. First, we want to check if they're aggressive. Yeah, I don't want to... I technically want to make it so all places in the game are technically not, like, 100% safe. Due to certain monsters. Like, the vents would have certain monsters that can crawl in the vents. And usually vents are used as a safe place for certain players, right? But it's like, I want to make it so the players learn which monsters can do certain things and which ones can't do certain things. I feel like that would just make it more... That would make it more scary. Because a lot of players, I feel like they go into an event and then they think they're safe. And then you play Alien Isolation, and then nowhere is safe. I will have probably some monsters like that, Yami, and then some of them will be stationary outside as well. Like we'll have a kind of a War of the Worlds type monster thing that like has their eye on you, and if you like get spotted while you're outside while they're in like the vision range, then maybe they shoot a huge laser at you or something, make a loud howling noise. Huge laser of death. Will I have a practice mode where there's no monsters? Well, we might have like a passive mode, maybe with its own set of challenges. I thought about that, where it's like it's all just you're just doing like maintenance tasks on the train, but that's what we kind of technically already have, and it's kind of boring. It's kind of boring. Maybe a panic room could be something you could buy in the store. We could see. I do think it's good to have some safety areas. Obviously the stations would be safety areas. We'd want the engine room or the cockpit to be kind of safe to some extent. I was thinking of an idea where you can like lock the doors. Kind of almost Five Nights at Freddy's style. So the cockpit almost becomes like a Five Nights at Freddy's kind of little thing in its own way. We'll see what we can end up doing. God, my fingers are like weak. What happened? I must have like slept on them improperly or something. Okay, we don't save, we don't keep track of who we're currently running at. Well, we do. The payload here technically gives us that information. I guess we could save that as a variable because we might need that in other places. So we'll keep track of the payload. Payload, how do we use the payload? Let me double check here. I want to say we do that in the controller. Hold on. Target perception info. Shit. Target perception info. I think this should be correct. We'll call it current target, I guess. This should work. I'm pretty sure. Let's check. Let's see, agros, class unknown. Oh no, we got a target actor. I don't know why it's saying class unknown. Let's do step into the next node. Yeah, there we go. Player character. Okay, yeah. It got the player character. Okay, we're good. So that's working. God, instant struct? Very cool. What the hell? What the hell? It's almost like it's a wild card struct type. Basically, wild card struct. Super neat. Also, panic rooms could be lockers. Lockers could be like a semi-safe spot. However, if I would like to make it so if you obviously were spotted by a monster while you were getting into the locker, I'd want to make it so they like, if they have fingers or hands, they like forcefully open up the locker and they like grab you and shit and they're like, whoa. You know, classic stuff, right? You know? I don't know if Repo does that. I know in Repo you can get into like safe spots, but I don't know if there's like lockers. I know there's lockers you can get into, but I wonder if they get like forcefully opened by the monster. Okay, so then we want to check target. If this is valid, check that the current target is valid. And then we want to check if we have line of sight. Oh, come on. Line of sight to target is controller. Can we get the AI controller? Yes. Controlled actor, self. Yes. Viewpoint should be wherever this capsule is. So if they have line of sight to, then we also want to do the last thing here. Which is check for their, every 10 seconds we'll let them leap. I've decided to work on 2 projects, both first person because I'm just a first person gamer. That's quite a bit to take. I thought I was going to be working on 2 projects. I might still work on 2 projects. I've been trying to picture what I would do for a Suit for Hire DLC. I have a couple ideas, but I think we would also have to release a free update alongside the DLC. I feel like DLCs are best received when you have like a free update alongside it, which I would probably have to do. I have a couple ideas of things I could polish. I could definitely polish some of the visuals in some of the older levels, but the DLC would probably have to have a whole new set of new levels. Yeah. I've thought about it. If I made a Suit for Hire DLC. One of the projects I'm imagining taking multiple years, the other one would take far less time. Gotcha. So you got like a short form and a long form. Short term and long term project. I think that's the way to go. I think that's the way to go. So first we're checking if they're aggressive. That's true. Then check if there's a target. If there's a target and we have line of sight to them, do this. Then check if we can even leap. We should probably do this first. Is aggressive and the leap timeline. No point in doing all this other stuff if we can't even do the leap to begin with. Okay, makes sense. Then we check, then we set the timestamp. I guess for now what we'll do is do an impulse. We'll just do an impulse. Yeah, so how do you do an arc? Returns the launch velocity needed for a projectile at rest to land on end position. Assumes a medium arc, example 45 degrees on level ground. It does no tracing. Well, let's see if that works. Don't know if it will. Let's find out. Start position, get actor, location. End position would be the target location. Let's see if this works. I'm curious. All right, well, let's see. Ah! All right, see you later, punk. I should probably not allow this. Help! Oh, come on. Let's do a print string for this so I know when this happens. Begin leap. And let's see how that looks. Hello? I don't know about you guys. I didn't see a leap get called. I have a strong feeling that the line of sight to is not working. I bet you that's probably where the issue begins. I have reason to believe that's not where the issue begins. What? Check for leap. Okay, where is it failing? Okay, where is it failing? Okay, line of sight. Which I think would currently make sense because I don't think he has line of sight to me. See, now he has line of sight. Okay. I think this should work. He apparently leapt. I didn't see anything happen though. He apparently began to leap. Let me give it a different color so I can actually see like when that happens. Dude. I saw begin leap, but he didn't really do a leap. I think this might not be very... Oh. We might have to like multiply this by quite a bit. Let's just multiply it by like, I don't know, multiply it by 15 for now. I guess maybe it's not taking into account mass. It's possible it's not taking into account the mass. Well, he did it. He did it again! Where'd he go? Where did he go? I literally don't know where he went. He's... I think he's gone. I think he's gone. I have reason to believe he's gone. All right. It's a little overboard. So maybe he was calculating. I don't know. Huh. What? What's for dinner, Krim? Brother, I don't even know. Nothing? Maybe we just don't give a shit about line of sight, too. Maybe he just leaps no matter what. Maybe that's just funnier. You know what? Fuck it. No, hey, whatever. Who gives a shit? Just fuck it. Whatever, man. Just get in there. Just get in there. Let's do an arc parameter of like 0.7. So then that way it's less 45 degrees, more like, yeah, towards, yeah, I think it should be fine. Yeah, good sound. Did I mess up a number? Which is making it so he's not doing it as often? He just did it right there. Why is he not doing it often? What the hell? What's going on? I don't understand. Is it because like this shit's like clearing it? Let's just turn off the clear. Let's see if maybe that's the problem. I gave it a -10, right? So then he can... Uh-oh. I ran out of stamina. That's unfortunate. I want him to do the leap! Do the leap! I even put a -10 in here. Last leap timestamp. Set last leap timestamp. Uh-huh. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Is he like not getting current target is valid? Is that what's going on? No, I don't think that's it. I think that's bullshit. He's just not leaping. He just hates me. How am I? I'm alright. We're adding a leap to this werewolf that for some reason is not occurring. Why won't he do it? You're really annoying me here, werewolf. You're really annoying me. Am I gonna have to? I gotta debug it in my other screen. Hold on. Oh, I know what's going on. Oh, I see. For some reason, this send state event constantly gets called. I should have probably looked at the little thing that kept getting spammed, because maybe that was like a little bit of an indicator of what was going on. Every single time this gets sent to aggro, well, let's just say this timer gets reset. So, yeah, I'm a bit stupid. One could say I'm a little bit of a dummy. And, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, not very smart. That's okay. All right, now we should see the leap happen a little bit more frequently. Where are you going? Where are you going? Can you not go there? Do you not have any pathfinding there? Okay, so I saw him move forward. I think it's highly possible that this override gravity Z. I feel like it needs to be multiplied for him to leap towards the player. Either that or we turn off gravity for a short period of time. Which I think we can do that. It's very possible I just have to multiply this. I'm gonna lower the cooldown for this because it's annoying. That returns a velocity and not a force. The launch velocity, right? Launch velocity would be essentially like an impulse, would it not? I guess not, huh? Uh, Launch speed. Maybe we could use this. Maybe we could use this instead. What if we say launch speed is 1500 or maybe 2000? Start location, end location, toss velocity, accept closest, and draw debug, which is very nice. Collision radius, radius of the projectile, assumed spherical, used when tracing. I guess that could just be the capsule radius, 35, I suppose. Here's what that gives us. See, he just launches forward. I think the reality is any sort of impulse is not going to give us the best result. We're probably going to want an animation because that'll have like a little pause and whatnot. The thing is, I do like the idea of the projectile velocity. What's unique about this monster? When he howls, he's going to reduce your vision for like 20 seconds. And then he's also going to do like leaping attacks and swipes. So pretty dangerous. What if I set the launch speed to like 3000? Does that change anything? Definitely does change some stuff. Yeah, alright. Let me see if I'm up here. What about it? Yeah, well, see you later. Reminds me of Drifter from Deadlock. Well, Drifter is a werewolf, after all. He do be a werewolf. Alright. There he goes. Hello, slop me up, please. What up, Janko? Favor high arc. Trace full path? I imagine that might be more expensive to do. I think we got to give him an animation. I think he's got to have an animation. Only trace while ascending. The hell is that trace? What is that? Where is he going? Yeah, I think we got to do this through like an anim montage. What if we turn off velocity change? Maybe that's the problem? I don't know, man. Guys, I don't think this is working. Guys, I don't think this is working very well. The problem is that he's hugging here rather than jumping from a distance. Yeah, alright. I guess the blinding thing is kind of like Drifter's ult, though. Poop turd, jump here. Whap! I'm on top of the tunnel. Ooh, this is trippy. This is how fast I'm running. I actually don't know if I'm... Oh, I'm... Uh-oh. If I kept running, I would... My impending doom. Yeah, I think the werewolf just needs an animontage. I don't think we can rely on velocity. Either that or he climbs the wall. Now, then the question is, how does he climb the wall? Well, I'm glad you asked. I have no idea how he climbs the wall. Where did he go? Oh, he's over there. The inside? Hey. Yeah, the jump is a bit... The jump is a bit... not my... Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out this leap. I really think the leap is gonna have to be an animontage, and then maybe we can calculate the animontage from there. Maybe you can have pipes around that he can climb up. It's either that or he climbs the ladder up. But I feel like it'd be more scary if he leapt at you. So just right now it's just a bit buggy because of the way that he's leaping. And by leaping I mean jumping. Because he doesn't give himself enough space to jump at you. Let's see what happens here when he does a leap. What happens? He just jumps forward. We might have to disable gravity temporarily. How do we do jumping? Actually, how do we do jumping? In the actual movement component. No, not the header file, damn it. Let me go to the player. Because I think it's literally the player jump is quite literally just add impulse. If I remember correctly. It's literally all it is. It's add impulse. That's it. All it is adds impulse. Jump force 450. Maybe... Yeah, I really do think doing an animation montage would work better. But then the problem is like, how do we... We can use, I keep forgetting that this is a thing in UE5. We can use a motion warping. Exactly, that's the one. We can use motion warping to do the initial calculation. Yeah. The problem is we don't have a skeleton for this guy or anything yet. So, as you can imagine, we're kind of stuck with whatever the hell this is at the momento. Well, we got some of the ideas down for it. Right now, it kind of looks like he's dashing. He's doing a little forward dash. You know, he's not really leaping at us. Here's my idea. Find lookout rotation between start in the target, get the distance to the start and the target, do a forward vector of this, multiply this by the distance. Surely we can maybe calculate a little something. And then add some z velocity. Let's do 400. And then do the impulse. Let's see if that... Oh, by the way, we're going to have to max out this distance. Otherwise, he's going to go flying. I don't think that's the right math, but I'm curious. The plus 400 is not even working, so I wonder what his mass is. Or I wonder what his mass, like, where his mass is taken into account. He does have a max speed deceleration airborne. I think we can get something like this. I think we can figure this out, I think. Let's try multiplying this by 3. Have I got any ideas for the theme music yet? One of my siblings is actually working on the music. She already got some track ideas going. It sounds pretty cool. Velocity change does take mass out of it. It is true. So we don't even have to consider mass into this. That's true. What you're making? It is a co-op horror game that takes place on a train. All of the players are basically employees. They have to maintain the train while also surviving from the passengers, who are also monsters. Yeah, my problem is that... Let me try adding plus 800 as the impulse for the z velocity. See, they're still not jumping. He's still not jumping even when I add a z value to the impulse. I'm going to commission Ariana Grande for my trailer. $1 million in debt. What? He jumped again. He jumped out of... Here's what I'm noticing. This jump does a jump force of 450. What's the defaults set to? Over max speed deceleration airborne. I think I figured it out. His deceleration is 1200. So if I want to do a small jump, this has to be a much smaller value. Really stupid. I think I'm figuring it out. Oh, great, a bomb. That's good. That's good. Good. Love that. It's just the leap is too instantaneous when we use... I talked with Soup about this, and he commissioned The Weeknd for $80. I feel like it'd be such a thing to do for a trailer. Wait, Soup commissioned The Weeknd? Are we talking The Weeknd with a missing E? I think he has a missing E. Does he have a missing E? I forget. For $80? Yeah? Huh? What? Soup is lying. He's lying. Oh shit. Yeah, the problem is the leap is too instant. Hold on. Okay, yeah, sure. I literally tried to get back up and then he just punched me in the face. I think an animation is going to work better here. Like a leap animation. And then if we need to, we can make it so he can leap upwards. What am I stuck on? Yeah, whatever. Yeah, okay. He still leaps, like, just forward without any Z height. What is going on? Why doesn't it work? I guess it's the gravity? Is it the based movement? Based. Based. What is going on? Something is not allowing this guy to jump. Why is not working? I need this guy to jump. I need him to jump in the air. No, it's not can jump. I don't think that's the problem. Let me set it though, just in case. It's basically just buying the right to use it in one video. I wonder if you could do that in a trailer though. I don't know. You probably wouldn't want to though. And the reason being, okay, sure, if you're uploading a video in the style of like Soup, that's okay. But if you're doing a trailer, 99% chance a bunch of channels are going to repost it, like IGN, etc. Pretty sure you need a license for every single place that's going to be re-uploaded. That just causes a whole fucking debacle problem. I don't know. It just creates so many problems. Then you got to assume streamers are going to restream your thing. You probably want, it's just better to just have non-licensed music for your trailer. Yeah, all right. So 800, he doesn't jump. 900, he jumps to the sky, goes for the moon. Literally doesn't make it. I hate you. Why is it that 900 is specifically the number that then allows you to jump? Otherwise, you do not jump. I feel like I had this issue with the bomb guy. Hold on. Where's bomb guy? Bomb guy, where are you? I need you. I need you. I need you right now. What did we do to make it so you can jump? See, look, 550. Max grounded velocity Z? What? Max grounded velocity Z. Max grounded velocity Z 800. You motherfucker. Should be able to absorb while grounded. Man, fuck you, engine. Silly. Stupid. There you go. Yeah, see you later, jackass. Fucking asshole. I think I got it. Right. Wow! Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah. Can he do that here? He can kind of hop. The problem still is he doesn't find a free spot to hop to. He just goes, oh, hey. He kind of did it there. Hold on. Let's try it again. Try it again. Oh. He's not trying to find a free space where he can jump from. He's kind of doing some stupid shit. Come on. Come on. I thought there was a pathway there. Just make him climb the wall. Okay, next question. How do we make monsters climb walls? Excuse me, you're in the way. Excuse me. I love how he does like little hops. Maybe he should only leap at you if you're a certain distance away. Yeah, alright. Well, it's kind of working. Oh my god, he killed a rat! Oh my... I didn't do that. I did not do that. Oh, it's just a fire extinguisher. Yeesh. Bro gets scared by the color red. You too will be scared by the color red in this game. Like, look at him. Uh-oh. I should not. Probably shouldn't allow this. Being able to just speed up like crazy. Goodbye, train. The sound effect that happened. Oh, shit. Yeah, all right. Well, he kind of works. He just needs like animations, character model, proper sound effects, balancing. You know, like the whole thing. Everything. Yeah, basically. But that's technically another monster. Well, we just have to make it so the howling actually makes our eyesight short distanced. And I think we're gonna need like a custom post process for that, most likely. Like an added additional fog type thing. The leaping, we'll probably have to give him a proper animation. Then we gotta somehow figure out how do we make it so he can leap upwards without getting really buggy about it. Yeah. I feel like NPCs are the hardest part of game dev. It heavily depends on the type of game you're making, but yeah, they can be a bit of a challenge. And they could be the most annoying thing if they are like required for your gameplay to work. Like for example, Suit for Hire. You shoot enemies or you shoot thugs. Like literally the AI is like 90% of the experience. In this case, this game is, you know, the monsters are quite integral as well because that's like half of the horror to some extent. So, yeah. Really shoehorned myself into yet another project that requires very good AI. Anyways, my hands are like hurting. I'm going to take a break from the mouse, I think. My like fingers are like weak right now. I must have like slept improperly on my hand or something because, yeah. I want to play some OSRS leagues to make them hurt even more. Honestly, I just don't give a shit about leagues. I played one league. It was kind of fun. And then I was like, eh. It just seems like a dopamine. I never tried leagues. Oh, I would say give it a try. I'd say give it a try. Anyways, my hand, dude. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for lurking, chatting, sticking around. I got a lot more work to do on the werewolf. On the brown turd. Lots more work to do on the brown turd. Have I played Gray Zone? Map is pretty cool. I've not. I don't know. I don't know if I'm like interested, to be honest. I don't know if I'm interested. Like, I think Tarkov was enough for me to be kind of like, meh. You know, eh. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I might do a little bit of work off stream because I got to get some work done. And maybe I'll start planning that DLC if we do a DLC for Super, which I don't know if I do. I don't know if I will. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Anyways, have a great day, everybody. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for looking at Jack and around. Well, more work tomorrow, Thursday, I think. Thursday? Tomorrow, Thursday? Yes. Yes. Okay.